Hello everyone, Maurice and welcome to Tanks Invest. Talk about investing, finance, versus development. For today's video, in terms only. The investment I'm going to talk about today will be Ethereum ticker ETH. First, I want to say happy Saturday, everybody. Hope you had a great weekend so far. As I'm recording around 7:17 a.m. on the Eastern time right now, Ethereum's currently trading on like the $2,095, down about 1.84%. Respectively, on Bitcoin's currently down about 0.37%. Currently trading around like the $33,674 level. So it seems like overall the crypto market is experiencing something that is called the weekend affectation, per my video that I've been mentioning consecutively in the past, right? And with respect to the current level right now, we are hovering around the $2,100 level, right? But the substantive level is more about like the 2,150 or anywhere around like the $2,050 level. So it seems like we are kind of hovering in between the walls at the moment right now, right? So I'm gonna go through a technical analysis again to see with respect to this, weekend sell-off that we're currently experiencing right now, per my previous depictions. What level should we be dollar cost averaging at, right? And I actually plan on buying so in the next couple of days or the next couple of hours. So depending on what level we hit, depending on the volatility that we should be expecting around these time frame of this weekend, basically, right? So stay tuned, stick around, let's make some money. Alright, so moving on to the technical analysis for Ethereum ticker ETH. I'm recording at 7:22 a.m. on the Eastern time right now. Currently trading at $2,091, down about 2% so far. And seems like the weekend affectation is definitely happening right now. And I'm actually happy to see this occurring because this is something that we've been talking about for quite some days now. And this is it seems like the normal course of cadence in a supply and demand dynamics is happening. And it seems like in a psychological perspective level, this is more of a recurring cadence. So which gives us a lot of predictability as analysts and also as investors at the same time, which allow us to execute our price level to obviously DCA at a more ideal level that we have identified previously, right? Before I talk about more of a foreshadow perspective going forward, let's talk about just the historical trend so far, right? With respect to that rebound that we had, subsequent to that, after on 26, we had that JP Morgan news on the article on or the research on the proof of stake adoptions going forward, right? From $9 billion to current date to 20 billion in the next 2 years to 40 billion by 2025, right? And then in addition to that, another green candle that we had was with respect to the $542 million bet by one single entity, right? That injected into Ethereum with respect to 133 different accounts of a purchase, right? Obviously, a relatively sizable purchase by one single entity, which also shows a lot of bullishness, right? And with respect to the purchase, the cost average was about like $2,100. So we are actually hovering around that level right now. So to basically buy up at these levels right now to anticipate for that, summit, and also with respect to the August 4th London Fork debut wouldn't be a bad idea, to be honest with you, right? And then subsequent to that, with respect to the EY crackdown on solving that gas fee problem with their initiative called the Nightfall 3 that's expected to debut sometime soon, as they're still further cultivating the initiatives going forward, right? And then some more positive news from Goldman Sachs, and also positive news from Barry Moore from the US Congress purchasing a Ethereum, Dogecoin, and obviously Cardano. And then we had this like red candles here, right? Subsequent red candles. Firstly, this mega red candle was with respect to the negative FOMC meeting, right, from Jerome Powell. And then the job report that we got, which was a more of a subpar sucker punch, if you may, from the US labor market, labor departments, on the depictions around, really just the first time jobless claims, which was a little bit lower than expectations per Dow Jones estimate, right? And ever since then, we had some positive news on London Fork, right? And also with respect to more of a pseudo news from Square releasing their hardware Bitcoin wallet that's expected to world debut later in the future. Right, so today we see a little bit of red pressure today because of the fact, again, right, the weekend affectation. People like to go into the safe haven during the weekend. They want to be relaxing. They don't want to be, worrying about how is their prices for Bitcoin or Ethereum going, right? They want to just like secure their profit that they have made, during this week, right? Which, frankly, if you look at it, we have a relatively rosy week, right? We were, which if you were able to buy at the bottom of 1770, a while ago, not too long ago, to be honest with you, about like a week ago, a week and a half ago, you were able to generate some great returns so far, right? Obviously, depending on how many Ethereum you bought, right? I actually bought 5 here, so it was great. And then as we pumped up and we sold down a little bit, I also bought another 2.5 at the 2,150. And then with respect to the sell-off that we had with the negative job report, I also bought some at the $2,069 level. I didn't get to catch the 2,041, which was even a better price. But you can be too greedy or too stagnant, right? So that's a level that I bought at, right? And with respect to the current level, we are hovering around like the $2,097 level. We are basically between the walls of 2,150, right? Again, the level of psychological resistance level that we've tested basically 22 times in the past, and then the $2,050 level, which is the level, another level before, breaching that 2,000, right? If we break that, we always go down to the next level, the 1950, right? But with respect to the $2,050 level, that's a really substantive level for us to crack, and I think it's a relatively difficult wall to crack, given the fact that again, right, that's a triple-digit hard level that typically with respect to a whole number, especially in the 3 digits, it's psychologically people tend to buy up as it approaches that level. So I don't foresee actually cracking that, and I think we should be seeing some sort of rebound relatively sharp as we approach that level. So I do foresee a little bit more selling pressure down to the $2,050 level and subsequently rebound from there as people in the US start to wake up a little bit more. And with respect to the MACD right now, you do see a little bit more of a curvature, but you could see that it's kind of fusing together. So that's something we have to kind of watch, because if we are further closing together, eventually we're going to form a cross section, and when you form a cross section, that means we're going to see more selling pressure, right? So that's something that you have to be mindful of going forward. This type of dynamics is probably going to be disrupted by the anticipatory pressure that we should be expecting from the summit on the 21st, right? And then once we get there, I think we should cross down minimally, but not like significantly to go all the way down to the 1750. I think that would be unlikely, but I think we should see like firstly the $2,050 and then potentially the 1950, right? Just to recuperate, to have that cross section, and then have the anticipatory pressure start to happen on, I would say, the 14th, right? So next Wednesday, and then recuperate from there, right? So I think that's or a little bit later, right? Depending on the weekend expectation on the 16th and 17th of July, right? Because you also have to capsulate that into your equation as you're calculating your execution going forward. But great sign is that the RSI is depleting, so we are cooling down a lot more in comparisons to the previous days so far. We were kind of pumping away, right? Running really hot, right? So now it's cooling down. And this is a great opportunity for you to build that long-term value proposition play, that long-term capital gains that you ideally want to be building on, right? Me, ideally, I want to have 100 Ethereum someday. Again, that's my life goal. I know you guys all have your own personal objective that you want to hit. So I think, the risk is slowly depleting right now. And I would slowly and logically dollar cost average around these levels. All right, just to recap all the numbers in the technical analysis, again, we are at the steel level right now. We are basically hovering around like the 2,150 to the $2,050 level. I think right now, if you buy in a little bit, you don't want to be too precise, like, oh, we have to wait until the $2,050 or wait until the 2,150. We are hovering between the levels, but we are leaning more propensity to go down to the $2,050 level. And I think we should see that during the course of the day until sometimes around like 4:30 to 5, where you will see a relatively good rebound from there. That's like a typical historical trends that we have seen before. I think that's the reasons because we as the Western hemisphere start to sell off, then the Eastern hemisphere, people start to wake up on the other side of the world, start to see the dip, and they start to buy in a little bit, which subsequently drives some buying pressure on that spectrum. So it's a timing thing, right? So something to be mindful of. But I think right now, as you percolate until noon, I think these are the opportune time frame for you to buy, especially on the Eastern time if you're in the US. So with respect to corporate adoption, 20%, 9,800, 4.4 times your money if you buy, around like 2,250, but it'll be a higher return if you bought at the current level right now. All right, so that's it for there. Respect my technical analysis on Ethereum ticket ETH. Hopefully you guys find this helpful. And before I sign off, I just want to say I hope you guys have a great Saturday and a great rest of the weekend. You're probably going to see me again tomorrow just to give you guys more of a day-to-day life updates on Ethereum, right? Because I know that's important, that I keep you guys informed and also keep you guys, have that sanity. Because I know the volatility can be kind of detrimental to our emotional health. But it's obviously important to, keep that logically sound for us, as we, make the right decisions going forward, right? So, and also in addition to that, hopefully you guys stay safe and stay cool indoor. I know New York is getting really, really hot. I don't know about internationally, but stay safe and stay hot, stay hydrated, and stay tuned for next video coming up. Take care. Bye.